One of the insights that Pope Francis made in his magisterial teaching, The Joy of Love, Amoris Laetitia, at the time when we had the Synod on the Family, was that if we look at the entire Bible, it's very clear that God repeatedly chooses family life as the place where He reveals His will and His plan for us, beginning with the story of Adam and Eve until the final one when the human family is brought together. It is in the family that God's work is so evident and where we should look for it. And we see that as well in this first reading that we have for the beginning of a new year in ordinary time. It's a story of Jesus going to a wedding where a new family is created. And we see in this instance the family of Jesus giving us a model of how different decisions, problems, controversies, discussions should take place. The problem is, at this first wedding, this first moment of a new family, they run out of wine. There's a problem. How does Jesus and His mother deal with this problem? I think that gives us some insight into how we should deal with the challenges that we face in our families. Notice that the first thing is that there's dialogue. There's communication between Jesus and His mother. The mother doesn't just give Jesus an order. She presents a problem. They have no more wine. And Jesus responds not with a no, but with a question. He wants to know more information. He wants to know what it is that he should be doing, as his hour has not yet come. And it is in that discussion, in that exchange, in that communication, that Jesus is able to move forward. So often in life, the problems that we face in our families seem so insolvable because we're not talking to each other. There's no discussion. There's no questioning. There's no attempt to see the other person's point of view. So often in life, families get into a position where they argue simply because they're talking across each other rather than to each other. And so I think a first insight that we have from this reading is, if we really want families to function, we have to invest in communicating to one another, to explain to each other what's in our hearts, to say to one another why we are doing a certain thing so that we can begin to understand each other. The second thing that we notice is that Jesus gets involved by asking those waiters to do something very simple, an ordinary chore. Just fill those water jars with water. It is a daily task that they do, a routine. And the message for us is that it is in the ordinary things of life, when we do them well, that can add to the harmony in our own families. I remember some of the biggest arguments we had in our family were over small things like whose turn it was to take out the garbage or to do the dishes. In fact, in our family, we always wanted our mother to get a dishwasher, but she said, I have 9 of them, why should I buy another one? And she meant her 9 children. We all had to do our chores. And when in fact we do the simple things, ordinary things in life, and do them well, we can build up family life. And the final thing is that we see an abundance, a great blessing that comes as a result of dialogue, but also attending to the ordinary things in life. There's a superabundance of wine, and it is great in its taste. That's the promise given to us as well. We can have strong family lives. We can have rewarding family lives beyond our imagining if we just talk to one another, if we communicate, but also if we do the ordinary things in everyday life of saying, I'm sorry, or please forgive me, or I forgive you, or doing the various chores around the house and doing them well, simply because we know that that's where God is gracing us. So today, as we begin this ordinary time, we have these green vestments to show that it is the ordinary time of new life. Let us commit to our families. Let's double down on our ability to communicate with one another, but also to do the ordinary things well. And in that way, know that God promises that things in our families will work out, even beyond our imagining.